Onto this third question, talking about three different ways that I anticipated using the course content and then what it actually ended up being. The first way that I anticipated using the course content was talking about ethical considerations. I anticipated that it would be a little bit more involving of myself than it actually was, and what it turns out is that I didn't really have to make that many decisions about what happened in the classroom because I wasn't really the sole educator there. I second wanted to look at different teaching methods from other teachers, and I didn't learn a whole lot of that either, just because it was all pretty unstructured and there wasn't a whole lot of actual lessons going along. And I think that goes into my third anticipation was I believed that I was going to be able to increase my own philosophy of teaching by having different experiences in education. And I really anticipated that I would be able to increase my ability to talk about my own philosophy. And I think that this worked really well because I think a good philosophy comes from having a lot of different experiences and being able to combine them into one big overview of how you view education in general. So I do think this was very helpful in that. This next question asks about my feelings prior to and then the accuracy of those. I was really excited to go in and believe that it would be really good for me learning to be an educator. It was overall a pretty decent program. It was a pretty decent day. Would it be somewhere that I would go back again like I expected? I don't think so, just because of that weird connection that was made between myself and the program director and the other educators. I just don't think that was a very good match for me. This is asking what the service learning experience is teaching me about who I am and what I become as a person or a teacher. And I think it taught me that education can come from a lot of different places. It doesn't just have to be a teacher standing up at the front of the classroom and lecturing and doing assignments. It can be running around a museum or doing experiments or putting your hands on things is really underrated. So this expanded my view of what it really means to be an educator. I do plan on using service learning when I teach because I think it's something that is so vital to be able to understand your community and how you fit into it. Gives people a bigger sense of purpose. And I think if I can institute that into my students, those younger high school students, that would be a really important lesson for them to learn. What I learned, I really want to go back to that idea of learning my bigger place in a community and learning that teaching isn't just, again, a teacher at the beginning of a classroom. I learned this by actually getting out and going and trying different places in education other than just schools. And this matters because I think when we look at the education profession in general, we really just assume that they're going to go in and be K through 12, but there are a lot of other options in education that I think go underrated. And I think what I can do and what others can do in light of this is to look around at other means of education, other places that facilitate learning, like other public places like libraries or museums or zoos. There are a lot of really great opportunities there as well, and I think I'm gonna see if I can't pursue those or at least look into them because they're great places to be.